Okay, those poor guys online and see how to do this. Okay, 20 degrees. And this is 12 meters. And then the third vector was 8 meters. And what angle was that?
30.
30 degrees over this way. Y. That's Y. That's Y. So I call this vector A, this vector B, and this vector C. All right. Well, and the question was, what was A plus B plus C equals question mark. So here's something that we can do. This is, what we're going to do is we're going to split this up into a few things. I'm going to write vector A here. I'm going to write the x component, or x component. X component. Y component. A, B, C, and then at the end we do A plus B plus C. Okay. And then we'll write out the vector and the unit vector once we have the components. So x component of A, how would I find it? How much does A go over in the x direction?
Can you use,
17.
yeah, it's 17 number, but can you use cosine of 30?
Yeah, what you did is you notice this is a right triangle. That's why I talked about how far it goes over in the x direction, how far it goes over in the right direction.
A of x, x hat.
Yeah, so this is A of x down here is the length, the amount it goes over in the x direction. And it'd be 20 meters. Cosine
Cosine.
of 30 degrees. Now, does everyone see how I got that? Okay, so how about this side?
Sine of 30.
So sine of 30 is this side over that side length.
Yes.
So if I solve, sine of 30 is opposite over hypotenuse.
20.
The sine of 30, the hypotenuse sine of 30 would be the opposite. So it would be 20 meters sine 30 degrees. All right, so if I do those things, what would I get here?
17.3243.
3 meters. Okay. Y component would be 10 meters. Yep. Okay, B. How far does B go over in the x direction? It's that far, right? So what would I do to get that?
Sine of 20 degrees.
That'd be cosine again.
Wait.
All right, so
Yeah, it's
Cosine.
cosine of 20.
20 degrees is this distance, b sub x over the hypotenuse, magnitude of b. So that means b sub x is 12 meters cosine of 20 degrees. Follow?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that become?
11.3 if you're not rounding, but 270.
11.3 meters, yeah, we'll round. Okay, how far is it in the y direction?
Sine of 20.
Okay, good. So b sub y is 12 meters sine of 20 degrees, except does it go positive or negative y?
Negative.
In the negative y direction.
Negative 4.1.
Yep, so I put a negative 4.1 meter here. Okay, how about C? A little trickier because the angle is not with respect to the x-axis. How far does it go over in the x direction? It goes up this far in the y, this far in the x.
Sine of 30 degrees.
That's right. It's this sign that you're going to see, but how far does it go over?
Uh,
4.
so 4.
That's right. C sub x,
-4.
-8 meters sine 30 degrees. It's in the negative x direction
Oh, okay.
by pointing that way. And so this would be -4 meters. Okay, how about
Yes.
in the y direction?
Cosine of 30.
Yep, that's right.
-8. Well, no, not.
Positive. So what do I need to do?
So C 6.9.
So it's 8 meters sine
Yeah.
30 degrees, right?
Yeah.
No, it'd be cosine.
Cosine. Yes.
Very good. And so, what did this become?
6.93.
6.9.
6.9.
6.9.
I think that's
928 is what I got.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Okay, add up these three numbers. What do you get?
24.6.
24.6.
6. Yeah.
Okay, that's about right. How about these three numbers?
12.83.
12.8, okay? And so, this is the x and y components of the sum of those vectors, which is right, a plus b plus c, as equal to 24.6 meters x hat plus 12.8 meters y hat. Good? You need to have both those numbers there. A vector has to have the two numbers to give the direction, how far it goes over in one direction, how far it goes over in another direction. If you just have the size of that vector, kind of, yeah, that's not the vector. All right, we were supposed to figure out the magnitude of this vector, weren't we?
Yeah.
All right, so what's the magnitude of A plus B plus C?
27.5.
All right, probably. It sounds about right, but if I were to draw this vector, that would go over 24 meters in the x direction and 12 meters in the y direction. I would draw the arrow like that. Okay, that's A plus B plus C. Okay, and so if I want to get what the magnitude of it is, I'll just use Pythagorean theorem, won't I?
Mm-hmm.
Take this side, square it, plus this side, square it, take square root. Okay, does that make sense? How about the angle here? This was an angle we were supposed to find, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How do you find that angle? That's right, we take the
There.
arctangent of this side over this side.
Uh-huh.
So this side has a length, a sub, or whatever the y component is, 12.8
12.8.
meters. This side 24.6.
Mhm.
Theta would be inverse tangent, or arctangent. That would be arctangent. 12.8 over 24.6. And what would that become? 27.8?
Uh-huh.
Okay?
No,
I thought
27.5 is the,
Yeah, and then the other way.
27.8 is the magnitude.
Yeah.
27.8 meters.
All right, wow. Pretty close. Any questions on that? Hopefully it makes sense how you add up the components of the vector. Sometimes, I don't know, this table, some people find it easier to do vectors this way. You know, just look at x and y components and then add up the x components and add up the y components separately. I don't, I all the vectors written out like this, I can just look at all the x's and add them up, or the y's and add them up. The key point is, you really need to break them up into components, and a vector is two vectors, you need to have two components. Okay? Are you good? Well, I will collect the homework then. And I'm gonna try and post up the key. Well, I'll post up the key this afternoon. Okay?
Yeah, I know.
Well, you just heard.
That's one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Unit vector has a magnitude. Somebody taught me this to turn it in.
Yeah, he,
What's organic? Organic.
The best is just getting started.
I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
You give me the stuff, I'm like, but then once you explain it, I'm like,
yeah.
And it's regular class.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold you for rings in that word. I'm gonna go up and state board and put it together.
Well, where do you get Yeah, I bet. And you were all
I choose I don't
I guess I would.
that's what it is.
So I don't know. It's so fun to have.
Nobody.
Yeah. I'm okay with it.
Like occasionally someone knows.
Yeah. I have gone to Lakewood Island, Boston. Yeah, that's what I'm curious.
Oh, okay.